Okay. Hello, everybody. Let me see if I can. Oof. It has been a weird day. I am kind of not sure where I am. So come on in, welcome. Let's see if I can get my other phone holder thingy mabobber kind of working so that I am just a little bit behind the times today. But welcome. Yay, okay. We're just gonna go with it. Awesome. Hello, everybody. All right, Roulette and Joe are first out of the gate. Yay, got you guys. I see Deb is there. Oh, hey, Jefflin, haven't seen you for a while. Come on in. Make yourselves to home. I am... Okay. So Deb has an unusual request. So yes for Deb, and yes for your birch tree scheduled for removal. Okay, Facebook, woohoo! All right, welcome everybody. Hello, hello. Hey. Welcome, I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman, and we are going to do some medicine card readings. So, if you are new here, what we do, I am working with the medicine card deck, working with the totem animals and such. And if you would like a one-card reading, the first 6 people to say yes in the comments get a one-card reading. I'm going to see what I can... Hey, Ada. Okay, Ada, I got you down. We have a birch tree that needs some talking to, so maybe I'll do that at the end. All right, so come on in, welcome, welcome. Thank you everybody for joining. A lot of people tonight, yay. So if you are new here, haven't been here before, I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman, and we're gonna pull some medicine cards. My cat's got the zoomies behind me somewhere. So if you would like a reading, we've got a couple of spaces left for a one-card reading, and then of course, oh, Jefflin, make sure I don't miss anybody. So we've got, let me make sure no one else. All right. Awesome, so we have one spot left for anyone who wants a one-card reading, and then of course at the end, I will pull a card for everybody, whether you got a personal reading or not. And my only request as a form of energy exchange for this video, for watching this video, is to please share the video. And share it to your to your website. Didn't mean to say that, but heck yeah. Or to your wall, or to a friend. You can tag someone in the comments. But please share my video. I would appreciate that. Thank you so much. Oh, Jefflin, I'm sorry. You had a friend of 42 years that just passed, and you get to say goodbye. Jefflin, I know we were going to talk last week, which never actually happened, but connect with me this week, and let's see if I can help you connect with him so that you can get some closure, actually say goodbye and hear a goodbye from him as well. We'll see if we can do that this week, okay? Let me know, okay? I can help with that. All right, so roulette is first. And then after I pull the last card for everybody, and to see what I can find out from Deb and Nancy's birch tree friend. All right, roulette. Roulette. Card jumped out of the deck. You're doing so much better than you think you are. You are okay. So I remember I used to go to these. I have a friend who channels Jeshua or Jesus, and they had like every month they still do. She's over in Squim now, so I don't get to go in person very much. But when they were here, they used to be in Federal Way, and I used to go every single week. And one of the things Jeshua told us one time, and this feels like this applies to you, Roulette, that, okay, how do I put it into words? On your worst days, you are still flying higher than most people do on their best days. Does that make sense to you? In other words, when you feel you have really high expectations for yourself, and you know, beat yourself up when you can't meet those, but even on the days when you are feeling the crappiest, when you feel like you're not worthy, you're not doing very well, you are still head and shoulders above where most people are on their best, highest vibrational days. I hope that makes sense to you. And the other thing about Eagle is, okay, so I think I mentioned this. I had a vision. Eagle appeared to me in a vision one time, and basically what he said was, you need to open your heart by spreading your wings. You have to, when you spread your wings, you're opening your heart. And by opening your heart, spreading your wings, the winds, the thermals lift you and carry you. You don't need to make things happen. You just need to be willing to surrender to those forces of spirit, to know that you are loved that you are watched over, that you are taken care of, and that no matter what it is, there is always a completely harmonious solution. Oops. I'm trying to read. I'm not real good at reading the comments as I'm going. Oh my God, so you actually saw an eagle today. Ha ha! Double whammy. So that eagle was... Okay, so you were feeding the crows, and they weren't coming, and then you saw the eagle flying over. So, okay, let me formalize it. Formulize this. Crows are the shadow. They can represent the shadow. They can represent that darkness, not in a bad way, but it's like facing your shadows and are you trying to feed your shadows or are you trying to feed your higher self? It's about, does that make sense to you? I don't know if I'm really verbalizing what I'm trying to say here, but geez, feed your spirit. Feed your spirit. All right, Valerie, that's a yes for a reading? Okay, we now have 6. Trust your light. Good. You're having an old woman moment. You are not old. You are not getting old. I refuse to say anything about, oh, this is happening because I'm getting old. Because most of the things that people complain about getting older, they are things that have always happened. And it's like, I am not going to start boxing myself into that frame of mind that I'm getting old, I'm getting decrepit, because I've always said oof or whatever when getting out of a chair. I've always, it's like all these things, and we tend to apply that excuse, which makes and all that does is gives us kind of that negative self-talk and basically gives our power away. But that's just kind of an aside, but like you are doing better than you think you are. That was the first message that came through. That's the most important one. You're doing better than you think you are. You're flying higher than you think you are. And just stop. Just open your heart, open your wings, and soar. And look at your life. And look how everything has worked out up to this moment. See how things have just rolled. Things have just popped into place. Despite all the worry and the effort and the anxieties, everything has worked out. And from that vantage point up above the earth, you look down and you can see how everything is working out and how all those things would have worked out without the effort, without having to flap your wings and get going. It's like by just opening your wings, Spirit will carry you where you need to go, carry you to the vantage point where you can get the perspective to see what is truly going on. Eagle with those eagle eyes is about clarity It's about being able to see the wide view of everything, as well as the focus on a rabbit that's, miles away. So don't box yourself in. You are so free. I keep getting images like the devil card or something in the tarot about how, feeling like you're caught, feeling like a victim. And, it's like the two people that have the chains, and either the lock is open or the key is sitting right there. Don't talk yourself into being less than you actually are. Does that make sense? Yeah. Don't make excuses for the things that you don't want in your life. You are the creator. This is Great Spirit. You are powerful. You are magical. You can create anything you want to. So don't talk yourself out of the miracles. Don't talk yourself out of your well-being. Okay? You're very magical. You can do anything. I believe in you. Oh, I'm glad that helped relate. All right, Joe. When I started doing the 1-card readings, I'm like, I'm just gonna keep it to 6 because I can do 6 1-card readings in an hour, and here we are, almost 20 minutes in, and I've only done 1, so it's gonna take however long it takes. And I thank you guys for your patience and your perseverance to watch through the whole thing, if you do. And also, like, I like to remind you, even if you're not getting a personal reading, just listen, because there are so many nuggets of wisdom in what is said for other people. And just listen and pay attention to what resonates in your own heart, and know that that is guidance for you as well. Okay? All right, Joe. I don't know why, Joe. I just got Sweet Caroline in my head when I was saying your name. Sweet Caroline. Bum, bum, bum. Good time never stops this good. Ah, I've been inclined. Okay, we've got a jumper. Huh? All right. So, Joe, mouse jumped out. Maybe it's a kangaroo mouse. Mouse jumped out of the deck. Okay. Tonight is a very strange night. This just does not feel normal. And I don't know, those of you who watch me every week, if you can feel the different energy, but I said the kangaroo mouse, and then there's this other kind of mouse. I'll have to, because this feels like you, Joe. There's this mouse, and oh my God, I can't remember what it's called, but it's a mouse that actually howls at the moon. It's like a wolf in mouse clothing. Okay. Stay with me, everyone. We are going for a ride. I need to look up. I remember I did. So one of the things I do on my Facebook page, of course, I haven't done it in a couple of weeks because I've had other stuff going on, but I do what I call Totem Tuesdays. And ideally, every Tuesday, I post a picture I've drawn of an animal and the meaning of that animal, like as the medicine of that animal. And I try to do that every Tuesday. And anyway, I did that mouse on a Totem Tuesday, so I am on my laptop looking up to see if I can find that really quick. I don't want to lose my audience, so maybe I'll keep singing Sweet Caroline to keep you entertained. Sweet Caroline, bum, bum, bum. Good times never felt this good. Oh, I've been inclined, bum, 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 to da 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 da. I actually, there it is, I found it. Okay. It's a grasshopper mouse. There's the jumping. How did you know, Deb? Deb already posted it. The grasshopper mouse. Like other mice, it's like, no, don't sweat the small stuff. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Deb and Nancy. You beat me to the punch. It's like, grasshopper mouse. So Joe, your card is, it was mouse, but it's specifically, I just feel it so strongly that it's a grasshopper mouse. It's similar to other mice as far as, don't overthink things. Keep your world small. Think it's just one thing in front of the other. Not worrying about what's going on the other side of the neighborhood, on the other side of the world. Just focus on your own reality where you are. But grasshopper mouse is actually a hunter and carnivore. Eats insects, snakes, and other mice and scorpions. The strength is stealth and silence. And then he howls at the moon. So he's very territorial. And so here, okay, and the other thing that one of the other strengths that grasshopper mouse has is a great sense of immunity. It, like I said, he hunts snakes and scorpions, and they have their immune system actually turns poison into painkillers. So there's this alchemy kind of thing, this transmutation, transmuting what's poisonous to others into something that helps you. And so, God help the person who underestimates you. Oh, he's just a mouse, I can take him out. Ow! So this is what I wrote in the Totem Tuesday that I had. Like grasshopper mouse, you may look small and cuddly on the outside, but inside lives the soul of a wolf and the heart of a lion. So that's you. So it's okay. It's a both and, in our world of duality, we always feel like we have to choose one or the other, right? But you can be the soft, cuddly little mouse and have the heart of a lion and the soul of a wolf. All right? I hope that helps. I hope that helps, Joe. That's amazing. And know that, there's so also in here, okay, and I'm gonna shut that so that I don't get distracted more. But so with that immunity, it's like anything that comes at you, anything anyone sends at you, anything that comes at you, no matter what the intention is behind it, can be transmuted into medicine. Hear you roar. I am mouse. Hear me roar. M-I-C. God, today is a weird day. But so with that immunity, like there's a story of the Buddha, and I thank everyone else for their patience and their perseverance. This is really a strange night, and it's gonna take a while to get through all these. But we're a third of the way through. There's a story of the Buddha, where when the Buddha had tried all these different paths to enlightenment and none of them had worked, he sat in front of the Bodhi tree and he said, I am not leaving here until I'm either dead or enlightened. So he sat there and he just started to gain enlightenment, just got brighter and brighter, and his vibration, his frequency just started to rise and rise and rise and rise. And so, like, and this is a Buddhist story, so there's demons and such, which I don't believe in personally, but it suits the story. So as he was raising his frequency, the head demon in hell was getting freaked out because, like, we can't let him gain enlightenment. He's going to inspire others to find out how powerful they really are. And so he gathered all the troops, all these demons, and they sent flaming arrows and spears and stones throwing them at him, casting all these things at him. But because he was such a high frequency, every time an arrow or a spear or a stone would hit his energy field, it would burst into flowers and shower at his feet. So it doesn't matter what's coming at you. You can change it to love. Okay? I think I better stop there before I go down another rabbit hole, but I hope that makes sense to you, Joe. You have earned your right to mousehood. You have earned your right to simplification, to ease, to having a smaller world, not having to take responsibility for others. You have earned that mousehood, and you can defend that mousehood. The boundaries and the territories, you can defend them. The heart of a lion, you eat scorpions and spit them out, so that's awesome. All right, Deb, you are next. I don't know what, Mercury went direct. That's one thing that's changed. So maybe that's like, we're still in the shadow, but the communication might be still a little weird as I say my words all jumbled and backwards. But anyway, I love you guys, and I'm so grateful that you spend this time with me. You're welcome, Joe. All right, Deb. All right, Deb, you got deer. So I know this has come up for you before. I'm pretty sure. Deer is about compassion. Deer is about that softness, gentleness, majesticness. You know, I mean, deer just carry themselves with that sense of royalty, right? Which is, it's like that royalty, that dignity. Yeah, okay, it's your animal of the East. That makes sense. And so what I'm getting is that deer is showing up as kind of as a sign, as an acknowledgement and to validate the fact that you have eased. The thing I'm getting in my head is that you've eased up, that you've, especially toward yourself, that I feel like I can breathe again. I feel like a weight falling off my shoulders or something. It's like, and this softness, this appreciation for what you have, for where you are. I know that a lot of times it feels like you're in a battle and there's these, you know, standing up in your truth and this kind of Amazon kind of thing. But it's like, it's this acknowledgement that you've kind of, it's like you've crossed a threshold. It's like almost like you recognize how you were kind of working against yourself, if that makes sense to you, by kind of like what I was talking about earlier with roulette and the eagle, about how you hold yourself to a higher bar, and that you've realized that you're just who you are. There is no bar you have to live up to. There is no, you're fine. Like I'm going to be Mr. Rogers now. You're perfect just the way you are, right? There's nothing lacking. There's nothing you have to do. There's no one else you need to be. In this moment, you are perfect. And this is the recognition that you are starting to know that you see that, and that you, it's like that, I just got chills, that sense of self-acceptance, of, you know, well, I used to go, when I first moved out here to Washington, I went to a few of the Ramtha things. And those of you who don't know, Ramtha is a channeled entity. He's a 35,000-year-old warrior from Atlantis who channels through someone. And one of the things he would always say is, don't be the enemy in your own encampment. And that's what I feel has shifted for you, Deb. It's like, you don't have to fight yourself to be perfect. You're perfect the way you are. Others might not accept it, but that's their problem, right? So good job, good job. Awesome. If people don't like you, they're not your people. Exactly, Deb. You are perfect. And what I just saw a meme today And I noticed it was from Rita Mae Brown, which was really funny because my ex-wife used to read her books all the time. But it was like, if you please everyone else, the only one who ends up not liking you is yourself. If you change yourself to make everyone else like you, the only one who doesn't like you is yourself. Something like that. But Rita Mae Brown wrote a whole bunch of, they're funny. It's like, she has a cat named Sneaky Pie, and there's this whole series of mystery books called the Sneaky Pie Mysteries. And it's these ones where Sneaky Pie and her companions, one's a dog, I think there's other animals, and they solve these murder mysteries on their own. It's well looking into. And you're welcome, Deb. I'm so glad. I'm glad that made sense. Sometimes I feel like I'm all over the place, but awesome. All right, let's. Nancy, in lieu of your card, we're going to talk to the birch tree, but I think I'm going to do that last so that I keep in the flow of the cards. So we'll do Ada. Ada, you are next. Let's see. All right, Ada, the one that came up for you is Frog, reversed. And so Frog is about cleansing. Frog is about as watery as you can get, because Frog doesn't actually drink water. Frog sits in the water and it soaks through their skin. So Frog is literally part of the water. It's like whatever's in the pond is in Frog. And so he's kind of the patron saint of empaths in a way. And so when it comes up, especially in reverse, it's time to, it's not a passive thing like, okay, I need to, not playing the victim. There's a lot of that tonight. Energy of like not playing the victim, taking control, empowering yourself, because Frog, if he is in water that is toxic, he will hop to another pond and he will continue to hop to different ponds or waterways until he finds pure water. So it's not about just, what do I do to cleanse? What do I do if I'm being inundated? It's like, taking the initiative to move. Seek out clean water. Seek out purity. Seek out a place, a time, people, objects, whatever, that feed you, that remind you who you really are. We all need like a sanctuary where we can just be by ourselves in our own energy. And if where you are is not working, hop away, hop toward what calls you, hop toward a place of pure water, of those things that called you, those things that make your heart sing, okay? In reverse, it's kind of like it's suggesting that there's some, I don't know if it would be a relationship or a job or something else that isn't feeding you. It's like it's not for your highest good to stay, so it's time to move on. It's time to, or at least if it's something that you can't leave. I know some people can't just up and leave their jobs or whatever, but at least you need to at least balance that time with time in a pure environment. Does that make sense? Because when you're in that pure essence of yourself, when you recognize your own energy, like the baseline of your own energy, then when you go out into the world, you can better discern between what's your energy and what's somebody else's, so that you don't have to, oh crap, I got a headache, where did that come from, right? It's like, what's wrong with me? Your family is frustrating you. You shared your opinion for the first time. So take credit for the courage and the strength it took to speak your truth. But realize that your truth and your well-being does not depend on your family understanding you. Okay? That's when it's like you say your truth, and if they don't accept it, that's their hang up. That's their problem. And it's time for you to obviously if they don't, then that's not a healthy pond for you to be swimming in. So hop back to your own pond to regroup and to recharge and to gain that sense of yourself again, so that you are at that higher frequency that is your natural default setting. And then that gives you the strength to go into other places. It's kind of like it armors you up. It raises your frequency so that lower frequencies can't get in, so that you can spend a little time with your family without being completely depleted. But it's also learning that good, it feels better. Yeah, and so it's like you have no obligation to linger in that energy of unacceptance. You don't have to convince anyone that you're right or that they're wrong or anything else. That's beyond the point. It's the expression of yourself that is the most important thing that you need to take credit for. Okay, my friend? Awesome. Just got chills. You're doing, again, it's like, and this, what I said for roulette, first off the bat, goes for pretty much everyone tonight. It's, you're doing better than you think you are. And if nothing else, I hope that is something that these videos can help you with, that someone else can look at you and say, you're perfect. I'm here to do that. Kyle Cease, who I've mentioned numerous times that I follow him, he's got tons of YouTube videos and stuff. And one of the things he said a while back was that you can't. It was kind of a weird analogy. It's like as if you were like a wine in a bottle. You can't tell who you are. You can't read the writing on the label. So you need people outside of you reflecting back what that is. Totally aho, Ada. I love that. I was just telling Valerie, it's like, I love that. So for those who don't know who Ada is, she's a member. She comes to our Sunday pipe and drum ceremony at Stargazers in Bellevue, and we always say aho. That's kind of, it's a so be it, amen, or from the native tribes. So we're always saying aho. And one morning, Ada was so excited, he's like, totally aho. And I love that. I've been using that since then. I love, it's totally aho. All right. Jeff Lynn, my friend, you are next. That's weird. They're telling me to pull the... Okay. So, Jefflin, that was weird. They told me to pull the card off of the bottom of the deck, and the one hiding down there was Fox. Fox is... Fox is one of the tricksters. He's, closely related to Coyote, king of the tricksters. And he plays, he's very good at illusions. He, crafty, thinking outside the box. And, okay, I got it. Well, my guys just said, so Fox medicine is largely about watching without being seen. Kind of the ninja of the animal kingdom. Can blend into the wallpaper in a moment's notice. And I know you've been going through a lot of challenges. And it's kind of like I said, like Fox, in almost every culture I know of, Fox is kind of the magician, he casts glamours, if you know what that means. He casts illusions, make you think he's one place when he's someplace else. He can make himself appear, he's a shapeshifter, he can make himself appear as different animals, as people. He can make other animals look like people or other animals or whatever. So there's this whole sense of shape-shifting, of illusion. And it's because he's a master of illusion. He knows what lies behind the curtain, right? So that he can create illusions because he knows how they work. And what I'm getting, I hope this makes sense to you, with all the things that have been going on, I promise you there is a purpose. I hope this makes sense to you. It's like every new thing that's been happening is another layer of the illusion being peeled away so that you can see through the illusion to what is true. And ultimately it comes down to the illusion of this world, right? It's like this world is an illusion. We are all God. We are all part of the divine, right? There's nothing that can harm us. Death is an illusion. And so when we come from that place, it doesn't mean that things aren't going to hurt or that they're going to, things are just going to be smooth and easy and not going to be tough and they're not going to hurt or anything like that. But someone like you, and it's funny because I've had a number of other people coming to me recently in similar situations, and it's like, along with what I said with roulette earlier with Eagle and like your highest, your lowest, when you are at your lowest vibration, you are still higher than most people. And we take our gifts as curses, right? But you have a gift, my friend, and there's a calling, there's a seed of a calling within everything that's been happening. And from a mundane, for lack of another word, perspective, it does suck. And like I said, it doesn't mean that things hurt any less. But each new thing has been to peel back the illusion just a little bit more, pulling back those veils so that you can see what's actually happening behind the curtain, to kind of recognize the illusion of this world, the illusion of life, the illusion of death, back to the ultimate oneness that we all are. Does that make sense, Jefflin? I'm hoping that, and in no way am I saying just deal with it, just walk it off or whatever. I am not saying that at all. I am saying that you have a gift that is deeper than most people, not just most normal people, but most spiritual people. And what you've been experiencing is a clear sign of that. And there is a purpose to it. And rather than revealing your weaknesses, it's actually revealing your strengths. And so there's just like a shift of perspective that has to happen. And to be able to see it for what it is, to see, I shuffled my cards, so I don't know where he went. But Fox Medicine, it's about being the observer, watching unattached, and which is tough. It's like you still have the feelings, the emotions, the connections to others and stuff like that. But know that you are not being abandoned. Know that you are being held and loved, supported and seen by the divine. That these things would not be happening if there were not a plan, if there were not a purpose. You know, you may feel like you're at your breaking point sometimes, but anyone else going through what you're experiencing would have broken a long time ago. This is showing your strength, not your weakness. And we'll talk. You know, I wanted you to, we were going to talk last week and we didn't get to it, but we will talk this coming week. You can text me or message me or something. And I've got some other things I can say that might not, okay, good, Jefflin. We'll talk and I can help with some other things, like in other ways that I can't, like right now, right here. But know that, and I think about you off and on, and you are loved and you are held and you are watched over. No one, the universe would not ask this of anyone without giving them the means to handle it. Okay? So, you're doing good. Awesome. All right. Valerie, you are next. Our last single card pull, personal pull, and then I am going to pull a card for everybody. And then I am also had a special request from Deb and Nancy, who have a birch that they want to know. All right, it's going to be taken down, that they want to connect with it. So I'm going to do that in a minute. But first, Valerie, it literally, the cards are jumpy tonight. It literally jumped out of the deck. So you got Dragonfly. And this kind of dovetails with what I was telling Jeff Lynn about the illusions, right? When Dragonfly comes along. So the story of Dragonfly, I've told it before, but I'm going to tell it again because I love telling stories. Once upon a time, there was this great and mighty dragon. And he was so all-powerful that he loved to brag about it. He loved to boast about how powerful he was and all his prowess and all his magical contrivances and all this stuff. And one day, Coyote got tired of listening to this bragging. And so he went up to this dragon and said, I bet you're not magical enough to make yourself that big. And the dragon laughed in his face, and he turned himself into a dragonfly. When he turned into a dragonfly, he got caught in his own illusion. He still had all the power and all the magic he had before, but he believed himself to be this fragile, tiny little being. And so when Dragonfly comes along, it's a reminder of who you truly are. You might appear to be this fragile human body, but you still have the power of the universe, unlimited power and magic of the universe behind you. And the dainty, fragile little body is just an interface with which to connect to others who are caught in that illusion of humanness, that believe they are just human and that is it. And so that gives them a friendly face to be able to say, to like, if you, it's funny talking about dragons because I know how important dragons are to you. But if you showed up in all your dragonness, people would run for the hills. And so appearing as a dragonfly gives that interface, that friendly face for people to relate to while you're speaking the dragon wisdom to them as you channel that wisdom, and this can be through your art, through your readings. And mostly it's a reminder that you are unlimited, that you can do anything. Don't get caught into the illusion. Don't get caught into the story of the world of weaknesses and limits and thinking, well, that will never happen because this would have to happen first and then that. And that's how we logic ourselves out of our magic. Know that there is always a completely harmonious solution, that miracles are the natural course of nature when nature is left to its own devices, and that you are not, that's interesting, the phrase that just came into my head, you are not the created, you are the creator. I have a dry erase marker that I write affirmations on my bathroom mirror and stuff. And one of them up there I got from Abraham Hicks, and it was like, oh crap, I can't remember it exactly, but it's basically, I don't just handle my reality, I create my reality. Something like that. So just remember who you are, love. You have so much magic in you. Don't water it down. Don't be afraid of it. You defy boxes. You defy categories. So don't keep trying to put yourself into the next box. Don't try to keep putting yourself, fitting into a category. Let yourself just lounge over all the categories. You don't need to be boxed in. That's interesting. I've never thought about that before, but yeah, just this is who I am. I'm in some boxes. I'm out of some boxes. I'm partway in some boxes, and this is all of me. So believe in yourself, love yourself, and know you can do anything. All right? So, all right. Okay, so one last card for everybody. And then I'm going to talk to the birch tree. You're welcome, love. All right, this is for everybody, whether you got a card or not. I was just down at the river today watching the salmon. They're jumping. Salmon comes up to let you know that you are guaranteed to get home. No matter what it looks like right now, no matter what is happening, you are guaranteed that you're going to get through it, and not only get through it, but you're going to grow from it, and you are going to get home. You're on a pilgrimage, and you are heading home to your origins, back to that pure, innocent vibration that you've always been, that has gotten covered up by the expectations and teachings and obligations of this world. The spiritual path is about unloading all of that and getting back, returning. So it's like you're swimming upstream, right? You're swimming through all that crap that got pushed on you until you get back to your origin, to who you have always been underneath all of it. So, all right. And now I promised, and going back in the comments to find Deb and Nancy in personal reading, she wanted me to connect with their birch tree. So she is scheduled for removal. We have saved some of her children that we will grow in a pot, but would really like to hear what comes through for us to do to help her in this transition. Okay. I can already, you know, when we see a tree, when we love a tree, we think, oh, it's such a pretty tree, you know, and oh, I love that tree, but we never think about it being an interactive experience. That birch tree knows you, Deb and Nancy. And it loves it. Just I can feel the joy that when you talk to it, when you come up and are around it and touch it, and it responds. It is part of your family. And okay, so think about I'm hoping you both have seen Guardians of the Galaxy, the movie, and Groot, and I just got this image of Groot, and that's my own personal filters. That's how my guides talk to me, or how the spirits talk to me, because it's like imagery that I understand. And she knows what's coming, and she's like, don't grieve for her. you are seeing to her survival by taking care of her children because they are her. It's just another transition. She's transitioning into another form, into multiple forms, and her consciousness will continue. She loves you guys so much. I've never felt a tree have so much love. But it's just like Groot, he died, spoiler alert, and then they planted a twig from the old Groot, and the new Groot started to grow, and it's kind of a continuation of, it's like there is no death. It's a continuation. And the tree as she was will always be available to you in that form in your mind. Even when I'm teaching shamanic journey to people, even though we are journeying into the spirit realm, we always start at an anchor point in the physical world, right? Usually trees are the best spot to start, well, in my opinion, to start a shamanic journey, because they anchor us to this world, because the point of a shamanic journey is to go out to the spirit realm and to come back. And so a tree anchors us to this place, right? Now, the thing, the part that I am getting to is the important part, that when you're doing shamanic journey, it doesn't matter whether that tree actually still exists or not. As long as it exists in your memory, we can still use it as an anchor point for the physical realm. So grieve her as you would another friend, but know that she is again just changing form. And especially having her children, you will feel her. She's not worried. She's not, we always think the tree, these poor trees are going to get cut down, and this tree specifically, she is not worried. And she knows, well, because she has caretakers like you. Exactly. Birch is all about rebirth and life. And this is just another shift of that rebirth. She's rebirthing into the spirit from her big physical sense, and she's sprouting into physical realm in a whole bunch of different little babies. So it's a total expansion from her point of view. It's excitement. And part of the reason that she doesn't have to worry is because of the connection you have made with her. You are holding space for her. You might sound funny, but you are rooting her here. And as long as you keep her in your mind and your heart, she will always be here. You are rooting her into this physical realm. So she has nothing to worry about. And she's going to expand and experience a whole bundle of new things. So, I've had a couple of trees, favorite trees, friends that got cut down. And I always try, if I can, to get a piece of the bark or a branch or something and keep it on my altar. One of my altars, I've got so many. I've got wood from a number of different trees that are my favorite, or friends of mine that got cut down. I had one at my old apartment complex. I used to talk to him all the time. It was funny. He talked with a lisp. when I would talk to him, ask him questions, he would answer back in a lisp, and his name was Phil. I don't know where that came from, but they had the apartment complex had to cut him down for some. I think it was during one of the ice storms, and he just got kind of torn apart by the ice. The heaviness of the ice just kind of tore him apart, so they took him down. But I went and got a chunk of the wood from him, and I still have it. So that's how it's like we are not independent of this world. We are co-creators of this world. We are not just like I said before, like the world is not like the Barbie dream house and we're like the Barbies and the Kens walking through it. We are creating and interacting with the world as we go, and the world, the trees, the animals, nature responds to us, interactive, co-creative. And so know that you have made a very big imprint on this tree, and that she's fine, and she's gonna be fine. So you're welcome. I know it is, allow yourself to feel the grief. People might think, why are you crying over a tree? It's like, it was my friend. I have a lot of friends that are trees. Allow yourself to grieve like you would any other friend, but also remember, just like any other friend, it's a transition, and that they're not really gone, and that you can connect to her anytime you want. So, anyway. Oh, I love it. Her name is Rhiannon. Oh, I love that. Beautiful. And I will light a candle for her as well. So know that you're not the only ones holding space for her. I will light a candle and I will think of her as well. So, all right, my friends, I have taken up enough of your time. I thank you for your perseverance and patience and waiting this all out with me. It was a weird night, but it was kind of a fun night. And so know that I am always here if you need me, whether to do readings or shamanic healings, etc. Please visit my website, perchingwolfstudios.net. And you read about me, you can read about all the services I offer, and you can actually schedule a session right there on my website. Either Zoom or in person, doesn't matter where you are. Night, Jeff Lynn. Yeah, and so my job is to support the community that supports me. And so, again, this is an interactive, co-creative venture we have going. And so I want to support you in your spiritual path as well. And what else? If you are interested, on Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock, I also do another live video, where I do the sacred pipe ceremony, the peace pipe, like you hear it in the Westerns and stuff. So you tune in on Wednesday nights if that interests you. Otherwise, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for sharing my video. If you feel so moved, my PayPal information is underneath or will be underneath this video. And I gratefully accept any donations you wish to make toward my work. And I will share this to my Facebook page, and I will also upload it to my YouTube channel, where you can find over 2 years worth of these videos. So thank you again so much. I love you all. I'm so grateful for you. Until I see you again, know that I love you, that I see you, and that I honor you. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Go shining. Bye.